No, focus. Thank you. So, as always, I'm Kelly.
I'm DJ.
And we just got out of Seventh Son.
Lots of LARPing fodder.
Yes. Final verdict. For me, I'd say just wait till this comes to Redbox. There's nothing really wholly special about it, in my opinion. It was pretty generic.
I liked it. It was paint by numbers, but I just liked the whole fantasy thing.
Yeah.
A lot of pointless things regarding the villains.
What's a bogart? Something you do not want to fight. Well, actually, see, it's a creature that lives inside of a dress, a desk, or a drawer, or a cabinet of some sort. It's a shapeshifter. It takes you the form of your biggest fear. They're basically unkillable, but, they're not really that dangerous. At all.
Unless
they turn into a Dementor.
Yes. Unless you fear Dementors.
You fear itself. Random Harry Potter tangent. There is a Bogart in this movie, and he is nothing like any Bogart you have ever seen. I want to look up what the true meaning of a Bogart is, because apparently I don't know shit.
So yeah, this movie is basically in its own little world, based on a book, possibly a series.
We don't know about that. I
think we're going to go to Walmart after this and look for it.
Yeah. I imagine there's a lot that was cut out of this movie that is in that book, especially regarding the romance between the two leads.
Yeah.
Going into the spoilers now. As I said, final verdict for me, I say wait.
Yeah. I personally recommend it for somebody. I don't think I'd see it again until it comes out on video. But if anyone's curious about it, I'd recommend them seeing it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, sort of medieval.
Medieval fantasy.
Fantasy.
As I said, it was just kind of generic. There's nothing that really made it stand out.
Yeah. Jeff Bridges plays an old man. What do they call them?
They call them Seven Sons and Spooks.
Spooks.
They deal with what goes bump in the night.
Yeah, a spook is basically a traveler who battles the forces of darkness, witches,
for lots of gold. Lots of
warriors, whatever, dragons,
demons, witches,
and people pay money to get rid of their demons. And basically we're given a backstory where he trapped a witch, like the queen of the witches, in a hole for several, I think 10 years, I don't know.
No, 10 years was just the time for the apprentice that she killed off at the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think that she was inside that hole for like 40 or 50 years.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then
she freaking Power Rangers the bitch.
The blood moon.
After 50 years, I'm finally free.
The blood moon rises, giving her power, and she breaks out of what is already a rusted and withered cage.
Now I shall conquer Earth.
She has the power to turn into a dragon, which means I don't really think she needed the blood moon in the first place.
Yeah. Well, apparently she was strong enough to survive most of the weaknesses in the beginning of the movie, but they didn't even tell you that she was strong enough to do that.
Exactly.
They didn't explain the weaknesses until almost 30 minutes after that damn scene.
Yep. So we open back on Jeff Bridges with his first apprentice fighting the very witch he trapped. And the apprentice dies.
Oh, tragic person I only met a couple of minutes ago who had 3 lines before this fight.
And Gregory is his name. Is a badass.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges is a badass in this, where he single-handedly takes down a guy with a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't spill a drop of his whiskey until he pours it on him, but given the drunk that he is in this, why would he waste beer like that?
Yeah, he's like the drunken master of medieval times. He's pretty awesome.
And I love the joke at the end. We lost our entire cart, but you still have that. And he points at his flask.
Yeah.
He's like, why indeed?
So he...
Here, take some. Only one sip a day. Why? Because this is mine.
So he travels to a small cottage owned by a farmer who is looking for what they call, they don't really elaborate on it, but they keep saying it, the seventh son of a seventh son.
That seems like the worst recruitment ever. No, I'm serious about that. The average childbirthing family produces maybe 5 kids. Average. The odds of a family even producing a 7th son, and then having that 7th son produce his own 7th son. Ah! Not to mention that every one of his family members could be useful. They're all half witches, just like him.
Exactly. Spoilers.
Yeah, this is the spoilers section.
We're getting there.
Yeah, I have some real issues with this. And I bet every single one of them is answered in the book. Every single one of them is answered in the book. But this movie gave no explanation on anything.
It's true.
Nothing was... What is a 7th son of a 7th son? Well, they're predestined to become some kind of knight they only refer to as spook. The only spook you meet is one dies off in the beginning opening credits. The other one is a drunken master. Okay.
Yeah. So John Ward is the guy.
Thomas Ward. The main character, his name's Thomas Ward. He has visions, and Bridget just shows up and... You are now my apprentice. Why? You are now my apprentice. Here's your money for your father.
His father pays him gold, and Ward goes with him. And
then hijinks ensues. God, there's more comedy bits in his training than there were in SpongeBob.
To his fortress of friggin' solitude.
In the mountains in a rock with...
Yeah, specifically designed to train people. He has all the training equipment, and we get a montage of his training.
But before that, he doesn't answer any of the kids' questions. He asks about the order. He gets maybe 2 answers before Jeff Bridges says, they're all dead and you don't get anything. I'm not going to answer any questions now. He asks questions about monsters, and he doesn't defer to... He doesn't even give him an answer on them. This training montage is useless.
And so while all this is going on, we have to get into our lovely villain.
And her army of evil that are all conveniently scripted in a book. Apparently these threats have been around for a while, but the first fight they come with our heroes.
Yeah, I forget his name, but he's basically the King of Swords, and he basically looks like Shiva. He's got 4 arms and 4 swords. We got a chick who can turn into a leopard.
But she doesn't even turn into a freaking leopard until the final attack before she dies.
Yeah.
You think that thing would be useful?
We got the Master of Assassins.
Who is the worst assassin in the world?
He himself can turn into a giant dragon, and he's got these like chain axes that look like they came out of God of War that can just fling out of his arms. I'm like, okay, you have this entire army of your finest assassins, which by the way do suck
so badly. Putties would be better. Fucking putties would be better than those things.
And you have these chain axes, which by themselves are badass. Do you really need to turn into some giant lizard thing?
But even still, he can turn into a giant lizard thing and throw even bigger chain axes around. Why the hell does he ever fight as a human? Oh, I can tell you why. It didn't allow for that kind of fight in the effects budget.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That really is the reason for why I bitch about the changes, I think.
Yeah.
Because they spent so many goddamn effects on the Bogart and the dragons and that weird credit montage that had half the scenes from the trailer in it. But they didn't have anything. Yeah. So he brushes off his honor, and then he throws it out. You should have stayed a dragon after he kills him.
You got this warlock guy that was the second one to die.
He didn't even get a line in the movie.
This is pretty much where we learn that Ward's mother is a witch.
Who is randomly inside of this random ass town, approximately halfway across the goddamn kingdom, for no reason whatsoever.
And so the witch's army is, invading this place to draw out Gregory or whatever.
No, they were punishing the town for killing the bear general.
Oh yeah, that's true. And so the first one to die, it was the bear general. Is this guy who could basically turn into a demon bear. And
he had befallen many of the seventh sons, apparently.
Yeah. Pretty cool fight scene. And then Gregory tries to teach him to kill a witch. But he can't do it. Ward can't burn a human being, even though you just saw him turn into a fucking demon bear.
Right in fucking front of him! I'm sorry, this guy has actively basically stated that he's a big, massive murderer. I get that you don't want to be the executioner, but you decided to go with this guy. You had a choice, even though it wasn't really expounded upon. It made it look like he just bought him and said, "It's my destiny. I've seen visions. I know that this is true." But at the same time, if you know that you're getting in the business of killing demons, kill this demon.
Exactly.
He's not a witch. He's a full-fledged demon. He's not a warlock. He's a full-fledged fucking 10-foot tall bear. who they just said right before you started the fight that it took 3 garrisons to freaking take him in custody. And he ripped through the iron bars the second you walked in.
Yeah.
This thing is a menace. Your job is to protect people and kill it. Kill it! Right. Look, I can understand him having some difficulties with the witch girlfriend that is also the spy for the queen that he ends up falling in love with, who is not explained at all.
Yeah, I could have slept through, how many of those scenes were there where she just popped up, 3 or 4? I could have slept through all those. And
they spent 5 minutes each one of those times. 5 minutes! They barely got through a paragraph of sentences before she leaves, but by the 3rd time she shows up, they bang.
Yeah, aside from maybe the exposition with the stone, I probably could have slept through all of those. Yes. I almost did too. And I wouldn't have missed anything.
As I said, I'm pretty sure there was more to this relationship, but it was in the book and not in the movie.
Exactly.
I shouldn't need to go to your book to realize that Ron and Hermione have had a thing building for 3 movies. No, it just feels like so much was cut from this. And after you hear that it got pushed back by a year, I really think that explains a lot of the effects things.
Yeah.
They probably had to do some reshoots and maybe some recasts. I think the lizard guy, he was trying to think. He was also in Guardians of the Galaxy. Is that little second henchman that Drax tears his head out of? I can't think of his name off the Jean something.
Yeah.
But it said "and him" in the credits at the end. I think that he was only hired for those 2 scenes.
Yeah.
Because when they show up, he's on the horseback, and all of a sudden he turns into a lizard within seconds. You could have easily cut that from the woods scene he was in.
It's the same actor who the dragon guy with the chain blades is played by the same guy who is the gatekeeper in Thor.
No.
Wasn't it?
Nope. You're thinking of the guy from Ghost Rider also.
Yeah.
No,
I thought they were all the same guy.
No. There's 2 on. They look pretty damn similar, but their voices are horribly different.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what gives me.
Okay, it's one of Ronan's lackeys in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I thought they were all the same guy.
You're gonna play both the gatekeeper and Thor, and you're gonna play a lackey here. Don't worry, no one will notice. But no, it's. I used to think they were the same person too. What's the big one that he did with Leonardo DiCaprio a while back? Blood Diamond. He's the black guy from Blood Diamond that finds the big rock that's the whole center of the movie. Really good movie. I
don't think it ever came to theaters here. I remember seeing one trailer for that, and then
we only got one showing of it, but it went to Main Street pretty quick.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it at Main Street. I thought it was one of the best movies about the corruption both in Africa and the government surrounding it that tried to take politics into account. I don't know if it was based on a true story, though. I can't think. I don't think it was.
And now we're getting into Blood Diamond.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's that guy. That's the movie that I associate him with the most.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, the lieutenants were all really disappointing.
Yeah.
The Shiva guy had that one really cool scene where he's fighting off waves of people in the city, but then when they fight him, admittedly, she did the smart thing, and she went into the most narrow corner possible so that best he could use maybe 2 of his arms so that she would actually have some semblance of chance. And she actually manages to hurt him before not getting him knocked down. But then he gets just, I'm gonna kill you. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah.
It gets stabbed in the back. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So the main witch has a sister whose daughter is this chick that they're trying to force a romance with.
Yeah, and the sister. Oh God, I could bitch about the mother for a while. I'm sorry, but this chick does not care about her daughter. She knows her sister's dangerous. She may even want the forces of darkness to win. But if you care as much as you did about your daughter to fight your fucking sister in dragon form above while all the lieutenants are dying, I'm just saying, maybe you shouldn't have offered her up to your sister as a spy against the most deadly man to your race over the last 40 fucking years. Yeah, she's a spy, just spying on Jeff Bridges, and after Thomas becomes his apprentice, that's when they start to have their little interactions. I mean, good God, I think this is almost as bad as Blood Rain. Between Blood Rain and that one dude that she banged inside of the jail cell. I'll granted, this was about 10 times longer, but that's only about 10 minutes. It's just this. As I said, this movie isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. Is this movie bad? There's a lot of holes and there's a lot of things that are not explained.
Yeah.
But it just, even with all that, it just feels so generic.
Yeah, it really does.
I mean, one of the coolest things inside the trailer was that lifting suit of armor.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, what's this going to be? It's a throwaway scene that lasts maybe 2 minutes.
Oh my God, it's medieval Ghost Rider.
And he's gonna kick my ass.
Yeah.
And
Jeff Bridges beats him with a stick. Basically.
he hits him 3 times with a stick and he goes down.
Yeah.
That would have been cool if he was like a summoned demon to fight to hold off Thomas while Jeff Bridges was fighting what's her butt?
Yeah.
The main Welsh. But then again, they never really fought her. All the damage that happens to her is inflicted by the sister, and all freaking Ward does is throw a knife at her at the end and then light her on fire.
Yeah.
Okay. I do kind of like that the only ways to truly kill the witches are to consume their heart or to light them on fire. The heart thing is kind of gross. I don't know where that's coming from. But the light the fire, going back to like the Salem witch trials, witches at the stake.
Well, this was PG-13, so they couldn't do that.
Didn't stop them throwing the fucking F-bomb in the first 15 minutes of the film.
That's the one F-bomb they get.
You could have saved it for some kind of like badass line while they're fighting. No, Jeff Bridges is walking off screen for a quick gag of fucking witches.
You get one F-bomb, you get a little bit of nudity, some fantasy action, that's about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of wish there was more to this. I wouldn't have minded if it was another 30 minutes if it expanded on characters and maybe they have a week to train Ward, and then after this last fight, Bridges just leaves. You are now the master. Forget everything I taught you. Have fun. Why?
He's going off to train hobbits, of course.
Oh, Jeff Bridges is not going off to train hobbits. He's going off to start a company called XCOM and build Tron. And I know there might be someone who's going to correct me. Jeff Bridges did not build Tron. I know that. It was a joke. He created the computer system that Tron inhabits. He's just a security program that became sentient, blah, blah, blah. He brought it into his new system inside of Legacy. I know all that. I don't care.
He wrote Tron as a security program.
No, he didn't write Tron.
Yeah, he did write Tron. He wrote Tron. The whole program is its own thing. It's the system.
I thought he just wrote the system, and the programs were written by individuals, and they just became sentient if they enter the system.
It's all a program. The whole thing is all of XCOM, and he wrote Tron as a security program to protect his ideas for games. And then Sark, basically, the human version of Sark, stole his ideas and profited off of them.
Don't worry. He and Sora will team up and kick ass. Get off that tangent real fast. But, yeah, I don't really have any much more to say about this without throwing out more random F-bombs and maybe a couple Power Rangers references.
Yeah, basically.
So, yeah, final verdict, again, I'd say wait for this to come to Redbox.
I'd recommend it if someone's curious.
Yeah, but try to get the cheap seats or maybe a matinee or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the small side note, the 3D in this was really, really weird. It made me nauseous. I don't
think that was the 3D. Like I said, it was probably the effects. There was a lot of movement, but it was like all in the dark, obviously to save money. Yeah. I've seen movies who's done that worse, but
I don't know. I've seen those too, but I've never gotten a headache from it. But at least everything was in 3D, which is more than I can say for a lot of things claiming to be 3D.
I honestly thought 3D was kind of downplayed, except for the rain. Maybe a little, maybe the chain axes a little bit, but it was kind of downplayed. SpongeBob had better 3D effects than that, but we didn't get a 3D showing.
Well, they might have another one like tomorrow or something. They just didn't have a pre-screen.
The DVD and Blu-ray is going to come with 3D glasses.
Now put this into your computer. Put these on and oh. I want to see what 3D looks like on one of those 4K TVs.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that'll probably melt my mind. I only say that because we saw one before we went and saw these movies, and I thought it was really cool. But yeah, as I said, final verdict, I'd recommend waiting. He recommends if you're curious, but yeah. So, I know that Jupiter's sending. I'll have one of those up in a few days. What's next week? Oh, yes! Next week.
Oh no.
50 Shades of Grey.
And I will not be there.
So he says, but I'm gonna drag him to it.
No.
I will grab him in the middle of the night, string him up by his thumbs, so he can never play video games again until he comes.
I will break your nose with my foot before you even do it. The dog, that's why I have a dog, you see. He alarms me to these things. Also, he doesn't sleep.
Don't worry. I know how to take care of your dog. Hey, treat, food, treat. Good boy.
Bite him.
Your dog can't jump on his hind leg at the moment. I think I have plenty of opportunity.
Oh, I'll be there. He'll bark. I'll hear him.
Oh, well, better call this, so see you all
next time.